Shit. Guys, I literally think it's been years since I made a video just yapping like this, where I just sit in front of the camera and talk to you guys. Today's topic. Have you ever been sexualized? Hear me out. Hear me out. I know everybody's like, being sexualized, blah, 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 blah. Do it again. I've been sexualized before, do it again. I fucking dare you. I didn't get to get my nut off last time. You know who I'm talking to. Anyway, that's besides the point. I'm gonna tell you guys a motherfucking story. I've been through some shit in these past years where, I've been on and off of YouTube. I've been posting a lot of gaming content, music content, whatever else. I've been rebranding a lot, and you've seen that a lot on this channel. This channel has been through a motherfucking journey since I've gotten out of high school. Those old high school videos that you saw, that you probably subscribed to me for, that's where I got the first 300 subscribers, and the other 90-something that are here. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for sticking around. I'm just going to start yapping to the camera now these days. I ain't even gonna lie. The numbers don't really do it for me. I've realized I've grown to know that I don't like too much attention. The editing, my life is too chaotic for me to sit down at a computer for 8 hours plus editing. I congratulate and admire everybody and respect everybody who can sit down and do that, but I really can't do that until I find some place stable to be. Those are some stories that I'm going to tell you about if you so choose to stick around and listen to them. But I'm going to tell you this little raunchy one real quick. So, there was a girl I had a crush on. I had a crush on this girl since 10th grade when I met her through a friend. They're related. He gave me the go ahead. He wants, hey, we're bros. He's like, we may as well become cousins. You feel me? How raw would that be if we become cousins? So I go ahead and shoot my shot. Back then, I didn't shoot my shot. I was a nerdy little, nervous kid, but we cultivated a cool, tight little friendship in that short interaction over this, this experience. Flash forward 10 years later. This is now 2022 or 2023, 2020 something. It was post-pandemic. We link up again on Discord. I finally scrounge up enough money, got my little Uber job at the time, scrounge up enough money to get myself a PC. That's where all the streaming and stuff came from. You can go follow me on Twitch. It's in June. It's the same name as the second music channel. Just June is over here. You can subscribe and like and all that good stuff if you so choose. Or you can dislike. They stopped showing the dislike button, but I think it still helps the algo, so go ahead and do that. Anyway, we link up. We finally meet on the Discord. I'm excited because he tells me, hey, what should Stephanie's going to be there. She's Stephanie. Okay. That was the name that popped up. Stephanie's going to be in the Discord. You finally get to join us on the Discord. I'm all like, sweet. This is amazing. I've been waiting for 10 years for this, on and off, kind of, sort of. So I hop in the Discord. Turns out she has a boyfriend. I was on my shit at the time, so I didn't give a fuck. I was on my bullshit. I'm not gonna lie. Immediately, I was like, I don't know this guy. Like, it'd be different if I knew him. I wouldn't snake a homie. You know what I'm saying? But I hop in this Discord, and we all get to chatting it up. We're playing games. We're having a lot of fun. We get to start talking deep conversations. Me and this girl actually had a lot in common. We cultivated a really good friendship. You know what I mean? I was already best friends with her relative. And this girl was everywhere in my type. And if you know me, I do not have a type, but I do have a preference. So I'll correct myself and say she was everywhere in my preference. Bro, she played video games. She was smart. She was drop dead gorgeous. She was introspective. She was interested. She was funny. You know what I mean? Like, she had the whole package. Like, I could kick it with her as a friend. And then on top of that, we were attracted to each other. Let me tell you how I found out we were attracted to each other. I already knew I was attracted to her. But even though I was on my bullshit, I'm a respectful individual. So I kept my distance, on top of the fact that there was distance between us, so there'd be no point in causing a drama scene in this particular Discord call between me, her, and the boyfriend. So, let me tell you how I found out she was interested back. I was talking to two girls at this time. Story for another day. I was talking to two girls at the time. They both knew about each other. They didn't know each other, but they both knew about each other, and they were both cool with it. One was a little more cool with it than the other. And this girl, Stephanie, on the call with me, her, and her boyfriend, it was just the three of us on this particular call, and we were playing video games, and she wants to drop the question, yo, how did you get her to be okay with you talking to this other girl? You must be putting it down. She said something along those lines. She didn't say it how I say it, but I'm paraphrasing. You must be putting it down. You must be really, doing something to her to have her being okay with something like that. You said she was monogamous? I said, yeah, but she was okay with what I was doing. I told her up front. I like to be up front whenever I meet somebody, just so they know what they're getting into and nobody wastes each other's time. And yeah, the boyfriend said nothing about that. I would be talking to her crazy if she asked some other dude a question like that. Like, what do you mean he must be putting it down? Why are you thinking about that? But little did I know, flash forward, I'm going to say like a month later, the time frame is all off. I'm really bad at time spans. So if you can create a timeline in the comment section below, if you're following along and you're smart with timelines, how the fuck are you supposed to know that? This is my story. Anyway, flash forward a little bit after that, they're talking about open relationships. And they're talking to me about their discussion about open relationships. This is flag number 2, where I started to get suspicious. Again, I kept a wall up in between it. I'm like, she's got a dude. She's also super far away, and I don't do long distance. I'm too busy. But if she was here, oh my God, if she was here. My bad. Everything decided to overheat, and so was I. I don't know if you saw me sweating in there from the lighting, but yeah, that car was hot than a motherfucker. So now I'm inside. Yeah, where was I? So, 10th grade crush, separated for 10 years, rejoined Discord after finally getting a PC, was able to reconnect, had a boyfriend. 5 months in, she starts asking crazy questions. Boom. So, I'm living in my apartment at this time. Let's flash all the way forward. I think I've gotten all the, some of the crazy questions out of the way. I don't remember all of the conversations from 2023 and 20, you know what I mean? That's just pretty far away. So let's flash forward to the event in question. How I was sexualized and how I felt sexualized and how it ain't really that bad. Because hear me out. So, they were talking about being in an open relationship. Let me go back to flashing forward. I was flashing forward. I started to bring myself back. Now I'm flashing forward. Sorry, Yap City here. Anyway, she invites us out to her graduation party. She graduates from college. And she's throwing a thing at her house for an entire week. So she invites a lot of the friends from the Discord. And I'm one of them that came. So I drove all the way down there. And yeah, we stay at her house for a week. First night I'm there, I'm in the other bedroom across from hers. Her and her boyfriend are in her bedroom. And when the little cousins and stuff start showing up to the house, that's when, all the grown folks go into the big kid's bedroom. So me, her, and her boyfriend are sharing that room. I'm sleeping on one of those like pallet mat type things. And yeah, We're having a good old time. Same kind of conversations we're all having on Discord. Not even the raunchy ones. These are all wholesome conversations. These are all the deep conversations about just life and the journey and this collective consciousness and all that good stuff that we like to talk about. You know, just raising the vibrations in that room and passing the vape around. We're going to the gym. They're showing me around. They're showing me around to spots that they've been to that were really cool to kick it at. Her mom lended me money because she didn't want me to work. She wanted me to enjoy the party while I was out there. And I was an Uber driver, so I scrounged up some money to get down there and have stuff to pay for and stuff like that. But her mom, she was nice enough to give me $200 while we were out at one of her graduation dinners, and I thought that was sweetest thing ever. Yeah, so we go out to this little, it's not an anime convention, but it has like stands and all sorts of stuff. You could basically treat it like an anime convention if you want to. And I was getting all sorts of anime gear from here. I was balling out with that little $200. That was a lovely experience. Anyway, we're karaokeing, eating good food. Week later, party ends. We're all driving back up to the Bay Area where I'm from. So they're coming back up too because her boyfriend lives on the other side of the peninsula. I'm not trying to dox nobody, you feel me? He lives on one side of the peninsula. I live on the other side of the peninsula. That's all I'm going to say. And we're all driving back up. I go back to my apartment. I had my own place at the time. And they text me the next day like, hey, we miss you. Let's hang out while we're up here. And I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. So, yeah, come slide. Are we going down to your area or are we coming up to my area? I know a lot of stuff to do up here. You guys got to show me around while we were down there. And over there, I know there's not much. I don't know much about that side. So they're like, we're going to come to your place. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Come up. I'm going to show you a good time. Not like that, but it turned out to be like that. Anyway, come up. I'm going to show you a good time. They come over. On the way, they're like, hey, we're kind of tired from, the whole graduation party and driving back up all the way up California. Can we spend the night? And I was like, yeah, y'all could even take my bed. I'll sleep on the couch since the two of you. And they're like, no, you don't have to do that. And I'm all like, I insist. So they come up, they come to my place. We go out. I show them around different spots in the city that I was living in. I was living in Sacramento at the time. I took them down downtown Sac. I show them old Sacramento. We go to the crystal shop. We go to the costume shop. We're fucking around. We go to the cereal shop. We're just fucking around the city, having a good time. And then we come back later that day to my house after getting all sweaty because it's always 102 degrees in Sacramento. And yeah, we come back to my house. We're kicking it. We're having more chats. We're playing music and we're playing board games and just talking about life. Then we start to talk about sex. As adults do, you have sexual conversations as adults. You can talk about sex maturely amongst your friends. And that's what I thought we were going to be doing at first. They were asking for advice. They were going through a rough patch in their relationship. They've been going through a rough patch in their relationship. They've been together for 5 years. And they were going through a rough patch in their relationship. I was promised not to talk about about this stuff. So this is why I'm not using names. I'm not using none of that shit. And also, I'm spoiling it. I've been ghosted after this situation. So now I feel like I hold no loyalty to hold that promise. I'm not even going to lie. But I'll respect the privacy and not use names and stuff like that. So don't go searching where you're not needed. Anyway. We're up there. We get done playing board games, board games, and listening to music and all that stuff. Then they asked me about sex advice. Because if you remember, flashback to when they were asking me about how I was juggling two girls at the same time. I'm not Mr. Bitches. You feel me? I'm not an authority on this matter on how to get women to do what you want. You feel me? I struggle with women all the time. I just so happen to be macking that year. I was macking that year. I had my own place. I think it was the confidence too. I ain't even gonna lie. Anyway, they start to ask me for advice about, how to do it right. And I'm all like, you got to listen to her. Has she been telling you anything that you've been doing right? And also the things that you've been doing wrong? Have you been putting your hips into it? Are you stroking with your back or are you stroking with your hips? Are you putting your hips and your legs into it, or are you back bending? Are you even thrusting, or are you just planking? You know what I mean? And I'm showing the strokes. I'm demonstrating on pillows. And she's like, yeah, like that. And then he's trying to copy, and she's like, no, more like that, what he's doing. And this is where I'm like, we're going to change the subject. So I shift the conversation over, and we get to sitting on the couch, and then we start talking about regular life shit again. You know what I mean? Funny things that happened during college, or, other friendships outside of this circle, or what's a blah 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 experience that you had with blah blah blah, and you know what I mean. And then she gets talking about the girls that I'm talking to at the time again, and then leads the conversation back to, hey, boyfriend, Steven and Stephanie. Steven, what's your criteria for a threesome with another guy? At this point, it's far too late for me to change the subject again. I was trying to give good, healthy, friendly advice on how they can get to doing it. I even expected them to do it in my bed. I'll just wash my sheets. You know what I'm saying? Like, we grown. I don't you know what I'm saying? I was going to give them my bed for the night. If it was going to save a relationship, it was going to save a relationship. I wear headphones when I sleep anyway. Go crazy. You know what I mean? She asks him, what's your criteria for a threesome with another guy? He starts listing the criteria. So I've had to have known this guy for a while, but not so long that I consider him like a brother. I've only known this guy's existence for half a year. Check. I have to trust that it would stay between us. I'm kind of breaking that right now, but up to this point, it's been years, y'all. It's been years of literally zero contact, so I have no loyalty to this promise anymore. So, yeah, I can keep a fucking secret. Check. He goes down a list. And he's definitely talking about me. So at this point, the only thing I can do to get out of this conversation is, okay, I think I'm finna call it a night. Y'all can have the room. Let me just grab my charger and stuff out of the bedroom. I'm already in my onesie at this point. Good night, y'all. They head into my bedroom. They're like, good night, good talk. Yeah. I'll see you in the morning. Nah. And then my demons start talking to me. Yo, she's fine as fuck, though. You never got a chance back in 10th grade. She just so happened to have a boyfriend at the time you wanted to reconnect. And I know you were considering it before you ever knew this guy. And then I said, you're right. And that's my bed. So I walk into the room and I'm like, hey, you know what, y'all? I don't feel like moving my fan and my charger because I got to unplug it behind the nightstand. And I don't feel like unplugging my fan and my charger because I got to move it from behind the nightstand, bring it all the way, reach behind the couch. And there's a whole lot of work. Why don't we all just sleep in the bed together? You see where this is going? About 5 minutes pass of us laying there. I'm like, okay, I can't let her fall asleep if I'm gonna ask what I'm gonna ask. Otherwise, I'm just sleeping at the edge of this bed right now. So, I popped the question. Hey guys, y'all could hate me forever, unfriend me if I'm being out of pocket, block me on everything. This isn't the reason they blocked me. Y'all could hate me forever, unblock me, block me as a friend, this and that and the third. But it sounded like when we were talking about that stuff on the couch and your criteria for a threesome with another guy, it sounded a whole lot like you were talking about me. So are you guys down? They look at each other for all of 5 seconds and they're like, yeah. They literally like lock eyes real quick, turn back to me and they're like, yeah, let's do it. So I get to work on this girl. Have her, I'm not going to get into explicit detail. Had her saying my name from the get-go though. I'm going to fast forward the experience to keep it. It's a raunchy story, but y'all don't deserve all them details. We go from the bedroom to the living room. He taps out in about 5 minutes. Or what felt like 5 minutes. I guess time was moving fast because we kept going till the sun came up. Bruh, either time was moving so fast that I'll give him 10 minutes for benefit of the doubt. His 10 minutes felt like 5 minutes. Or I was really putting in that work that day. Bruh, I was on 5-hour energy timing. I chewed some 5 gum. Bruh, when I tell you, we went from midnight until the sun started peeking through the windows. By the time we were done, I still didn't even get to nut. We were in the living room. She kicked him back into my bedroom. He was scrolling on his phone. This was the worst I've ever done a homie. I'm sorry about that. It was consensual though. So, yeah, I'll be the asshole from your perspective. Anyway, we're on the living room floor by the end of this situation. Just rubbing each other's hair, rubbing down her back, staring at each other's eyes, sun beaming, perfect position. We're like literally in the square where the window hits the light beam on the floor. It was like romantical. She's like, there was always something about your gaze that just sent me. And I was like, let me admit something to you. I've been thinking about something like this since back when I first met you. And then she looked at me, smiled, and went, that would probably dox. Hold on. Since 10th grade situation where we met, insert situation. I said, yeah, how'd you know? So that confirmed that she'd been thinking about it too. Bro, I'm telling you. That was amazing. Then they left that morning. I guarantee they were fighting in the car. Because a week later, he texted me and is like, yo, we all gotta talk. I don't think we're gonna come around the Discord anymore. Me and her got stuff going on. We just gotta duck for a while. Where you probably won't hear from us for a really long time. Just know that it wasn't your fault. I'm a grown-ass man. This situation didn't come out of nowhere, bruh. Yeah. We tried to have a little family meeting about it. Stuff never went as planned, and then it was dead silent from after that year. Never heard from them again. He had texted me about a message from her telling me, yo, everything's all right, still not your fault, blah, 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 blah. And I'm all like, don't be her messenger, boy. If this is what happened after we all did such and such, then she's playing you too, and you need to speak for your damn self or don't talk to me at all. That was pretty much the short message of what I sent him. And yeah, after that, never talked to either one of them ever again. So yeah, I was objectified. I think it was because I had a big black, and it wasn't that bad. Other than the grief of losing some really solid friendships because of my horniness, I thought everything was consensual. I thought we were all going to be adults about it. You know what I mean? I can't say that it was my fault other than me giving into lust in that moment. If I'm going to take a serious lesson from this. But when you're all consenting adults trying to do something, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. And if stuff falls apart, can't really tell where that's going to go. Thought it was going to be a one-time situation that we pretend never happened until urges arise or whatever, or until I'm in a relationship or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, something like that. Oh, and to answer your question in the comment sections, because I can hear it now, no, me and the dude didn't touch. No, I don't swing that way. Anyway, yeah, I was objectified, and it wasn't that bad. Scratch that. It was fucking terrible. It was fucking terrible. You know why? Because I need to run it back 1v1. Hit me up. All right.